My name is Tavin. I extremely love the car community. Actually, the inspiration started back when I was in Form 5. I had my cousin brother who was the same age as me. We were in the same class together, and at that time he had a 2002 Iswara 1.3. So eventually it got to the point where my class had the most amount of students who brought cars to school, and we would just feel so proud, knowing that like 10 of our classmates would park our cars in front of our schools. After I graduated high school, I still had the passion, but it more or less just kind of died down a bit lah. Until I met my friend Cho Yang. He convinced me to bring me to this car show called Horizon Car Meet. 2021, I finally thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna work really hard, and I will buy my first car before I turn 21. The good part about that is the fact that I was able to buy 2 cars. October of 2021 is when I bought my first car, which was Proton Iswara 1.3. Originally at that time, I wanted to buy a Satria. Eventually, I was like, you know what? My first car, I wanted to get a Waja. So I was really persistent on getting a MMC Waja 1.6. At that time, I had some college fees due. I was forced to pay the sum amount and my options were very, very limited. And then I realized I should probably get a 4-door because I feel like I will be utilizing the space behind. Getting my first car really drove me in the sense of independence because I get to go wherever I want. I basically get to participate in a lot of car activities. My car was a manual, and since none of my friends, drive manuals, but the minute I purchased my car and I showed it to them, they all went ape crazy, like humans discovering fire for the first time. It was incredible. Everybody, all of my friends, they all appreciated the car, which I think is a very good thing. After 6-7 months of owning the Iswara, I started to feel very insecure. Eventually, I crunched up enough money and I thought to myself, you know what? It's time I finally overhauled the Iswara entirely. A second thought popped into my head, which was, what if I sell the car and use the money that I have in savings and buy myself a better car? Eventually, I decided to take a walk at a car dealer at PJ area, and that's when I saw this car. Now at that time, this car was for sale around 9,500 ringgit which I thought it was pretty good money until I realized that this is the Campro version. It was a bit overpriced for me at that time. I had my cousin brother who also had a Proton Waja. He had a 1.6 MMC version. Due to some miscommunication, I decided, you know what, I have no patience whatsoever. I don't want to look for a CPS because out of the 10 listings that I contacted, only 1 responded, which was this guy, and this is not even a CPS. I was like, you know what, screw it, let me just buy this instead. I didn't sell my Iswara at that time. At one point in my life, I had 0 money in my bank account. I do not regret this purchase. I think it's one of the greatest purchases I ever did, and it's one of the best decisions. For my dad, he's quite supportive because he knows that I can not only utilize this to network with people, but I can also capitalize on it. My mother, on the other hand, does not support me. All she sees is just kids forcing themselves into getting into trouble, wasting money. She feels more or less like I can save up the money, I can probably do something better with it, but I'm just gonna do what I feel like I feel most happy about it Although my mother disagrees, but I think it shouldn't be a big issue To me and my friends, they cheered the most because it was such a big accomplishment. Kudos to my cousin brother also. I think he was one of my biggest supporters and also my closest friends, so I think that was great. Well, it's not a burden to me financially. The Iswara is actually the maintenance is super cheap on that. Maintenance wise, this is the only one that takes up a bit more money but to me it's not a big deal. However, sometimes I do feel like it's a little bit too overkill What I would do is that I would tell myself to be more patient The only reason I bought the Iswara in the first place, and the only reason why I feel a bit of remorse towards that car, I bought it because I was very impatient. It's okay because at the end of the day, I'm still young, I still have a lot of things to explore, I make a lot of mistakes. I get to meeting new people. When you meet new people, you tend to network with them. And to me, I think that's one of the greatest things that you can do as a youngster. Because when you're growing up, you're coming out, the best way you can capitalize on your opportunities is to definitely network. And the best way to network is to find common ground. I extremely love the car community in Malaysia because of the fact that how we get to communicate and help each other one another. I was able to consult with 2 major car enthusiasts, telling them that I was able to buy this car. It was a big shocker to them. They was like, oh wow, this guy, he not only took my advice, he took action upon my advice. So I think it was quite interesting lah. So I kind of appreciate it. I think that the suitable plan right now is to definitely buy the third car. I've seen a lot of people, they drive, you know, a lot of Hondas and Mazdas and BMWs. Kudos to them, you know, those are very, very great cars. The next car that I definitely want to get is probably a Mercedes-Benz. This is a 2 to 3 year plan. I am not too sure whether I can achieve it or not. If I did get it, I will plan on using the car for the rest of my life. Alright, bye guys.